Hi, Lyle here. I own Speed Pros here in Piedmont, South Dakota. I want to show you a little video that I made. Does your bike make noises when you start to let the clutch out, or does it kick back on you when you hit the starter? If it does either one of these, 99% of the time, I'll guarantee you, it's the compensator. And there's an easy fix for it. You don't have to spend $500 to fix it. Let me show you what my bike is before we get started on it, and we'll proceed from there. This bike is a Revolution Performance motor. It's a 139 cubic inch motor. It's got H-beam rods in it, the Revolution heads. It's got a fueling 592 cam in it, all fueling oil pump, cam plate, the whole works, along with Pingle electric shift. On the dyno, we make about 170 foot-pounds of torque and right close to 162 horse on it. With the nitrous on it, the last time we dynoed, which was a week ago, because I've been experimenting with different camshafts, we made 233 foot-pounds of torque and 196 horse. This is my nitrous system. Everything's contained in this one bag. Run the lines up to the front. Works out really good. It's got my own self-contained gas tank at the rear, so you don't have to pull off of the tank up here. Pretty much everything's hidden. As you see, I'm pretty much of a big fueling fan. There's products I use that I think they're the best products. They're great people. One's fueling. Great products for fueling, oil pumps, cam plates, cams. I've been using their 543 cams and the twin cams for years. Best cam on the market. Barnett. Clutches, the best there is. You can't buy better than Barnett. 233 foot-pounds of torque, it doesn't slip. I was amazed that it doesn't slip. And so let's get started. I'll show you what we got and we'll go from there. All right, let's get this thing apart. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time videoing me taking this apart. Everybody's taking these apart. Doesn't take that long to pull the primary off of it and change out the compensator spring on it. So, my handy Bauer tools from Harbor Freight. I've had these about, I don't know, 6-7 years and still on the same batteries. If you notice, I got Pingle electric shift on this thing. They work fabulous. The only time they really don't work is when you're burning the tire. Then they have a tendency not to shift, but as long as you're not frying the tire off the back, they shift perfect. Electric shift up out of the way. Good, out of the way. All right, let me give you a little hint. The last bolt, just loosen it a little bit, otherwise you're going to wind up with a lap full of oil. And I can't tell you how many times I've wound up with a lap full of oil. Set it over here in my trash can. You can see here we've got the Barnett. It's got the basket is Barnett. It's got a big wide band here. On M8 motors, when you start putting horsepower to them, the stock basket breaks, winds up underneath here, bend the crankshaft. If you build a big motor, put a Barnett clutch basket in it. This also has the Barnett extra clutch plate kit with the red springs. Absolutely doesn't slip. I run the Screaming Eagle manual adjuster. That way there's no tension on the crankshaft bearing or the primary bearing. With the self-adjusting one, these chains get so tight they're like rubber bands, and it's hard on these bearings. So let's get this apart. I got the wedge in there. Oh. Okay, there she's coming loose. This is Harley's manual adjuster. Okay. Now this will come off. Yeah, let's see. Let's screw up the. Take that off so I don't screw it up. Okay, that comes off pretty easy right there. Take this off, and then you have this one little spring in here. That's what does all the work. I'm going to take the other ones apart to show you the difference on that. Let me get my dial caliper and I'll show you. You have in this spring pack, you have two springs like that. They measure 116 thousandths. Okay, then you have two springs that look like that, and they're 169. Okay, so these springs here basically don't do nothing. They're just along for the ride. All right, so Harley's got these monstrous springs that really they don't do anything. They're just kind of along for the ride. Let me get this back together. That sets on there. Then they're like bowls. One faces one direction. This one's like eating cereal out of a bowl. Next one goes in upside down like you dump the cereal out. Next one goes in like you're eating cereal out of a bowl. Next one goes like you dump the bowl out. Now, what we got to do is install the new compensator spring. Now, the difference between a stock one and this one is 72 thousandths thick, I believe. Let's see here. Zero up here. Yeah, we're 72 thousandths thick on this one, and the stock one is 67. But this one on the bowl is an 8-degree bevel. This is an 18-degree bevel. This spring is twice as strong as this spring. So basically all you do, add that spring in there, put this on here like that, get your sprocket back up on here. That's got to get on the shaft there. Just a chain. There. That went on there like that. So now, get us some red Loctite. Little red Loctite on it. Goes back in there like that. Now, that tightened that right up. Next step is find my little bar here, my big breaker bar. Okay. Okay. This is supposed to be torqued at 175 foot-pounds of torque. I use Harbor Freight's big breaker bar, get it as tight as I can, call it good. Never had one come loose, never had one break. So pretty simple, we got that done. Now we gotta put the adjuster back in it and finish putting it together. Should be able to. Got everything done here. Everything 5/8 of an inch up and down on that. Manual adjusters back in there. Because it's time to put a primary back on. Get the gasket here. I go on like so. Everything got back together. Use impact to tighten this stuff. Okay. I've been doing these primaries and Harley Davidson since 1979. So I've seen the good and I've seen the bad. And boy, these new M8 motors are the good. The technology that they've come up with on these bikes is fabulous. Gotta give a hats off to Harley. Get my little handy dandy oil filler. I've been using automatic transmission fluid in these for years. That's what Barnett recommends, and it always seems like when you use this stuff you can find neutral a lot easier. Your clutch plates don't stick together like the heavier oil. Again, I've been using this for 25 years. And I've never had a problem with it. And like I said, that's what Barnett recommends. If he's good with it, I'm good with it. You don't have to have brand name ATF for primary. On the package, I have this listed as a high performance compensator spring, but it works great in regular bikes. You know your compensator's going bad when you start to let the clutch out and you start hearing it rattle, or when you're starting the bike, it kicks back on you. That's two of the major signs, mostly the kick back on you. You try to start it and that motor will kick back. Definitely a bad compensator. So, floorboard back on. There, that's the job, all done. Pretty simple. You can do this easy in an hour, very easy in an hour. Well, that's it, about an hour to do it, maybe not even that long. Pretty simple tools. If you need a diaphragm spring, you can get them from me. My phone number is 605-484-7398. It works. I've been running them for about a year in customer bikes, and we've never had a complaint, never had one break. They work perfect. Thanks for watching.